this is the moment of truth. And you called it. It's Kawano. And I called it. It's Luke.
That's a win-win.
Vicious and F-word strike again, baby. And this is a pick that I think makes absolute sense. Relatively even match. Great experience on Kawano's side in the matchup. But DCQ not intimidated or scared at all of this matchup, as he's shown many times over the Street Fighter League USA season that he's very comfortable against Luke. It's great that they put DCQ in this position, because I think it's actually one that they can't hard counter as Team Japan, but Kawano, EVO champion, is there and is able to get this victory, and it will get them to 1 apiece in terms of sets.
What happens though, I'm going to theory craft here, what happens when Kawano happens to fall short with Colleen? He does have a Luke on the side as well. We have seen that in the grand final scenario of their playoffs, or their grand finals over in Street Fighter League Japan. Do you think it would be enough to take down the monstrous robot, really, of DCQ?
With his Luke?
Yeah.
The only negative I can think of with his Luke is it's a relatively new Luke. So I don't know how much experience it's had, you know, overall, especially with the Uriens. But they got, I mean, outside of DCQ and some of these like Chinese Uriens, they got a plethora of Uriens over there in Japan, you know? So it's just, has he had the time to bang those matches out and get really ready? The fact that he whipped the Urien out in the grand final, the Luke out in the grand finals of Street Fighter League Japan tells me that he has. So I think in that regard, this is a good pick for them. I mean, like you said, the Dogura pick didn't look very good for Team Good 8.
I mean, to be fair, initially it did. Like, we can't just base it off of the results,
to
right?
be fair, the whole set was quite close, but when DCQ got in, that was a wrap, bro.
I mean, Dogura was fighting for his life on the streets, man. He tried every defensive option possible. He'd even delayed whatever choices he chose to make, and it still happened to get counter hit or counter strategized, really. But I think this is a great position for Kawano specifically, being in the 3 out of 5 anchor spot. If Colleen happens to fall short, switch over to Luke. If the Luke falls short in the second one, maybe go back to Colleen. Figure out what needs to be done, depending on how
you might just go Luke the whole way. You know, this is like I said, I've seen this go back and forth.
The only reason why we're deliberating over this instead of actually highlighting DCQ is, well, fact of the matter is, I haven't seen a single character outside of Urien played under the arsenal of DCQ.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Urien main. I mean, he's a very popular character where he's from, but he is got to be the epitome of their character today. His training partner, sitting in winner's side of Capcom Cup, VX Bao, also had a very strong Urien at one point. It's a character they really believe in that part of the world, and they're showing it here, representing USA in this grand finals. Notice I said representing USA there, Vicious. I'm giving you guys some love. These are the USA qualifiers.
They're more than welcome to hang out with us here in the US, right? The US actually stands for UYU stays. They could hang out with us anytime they want to. They're part of the group. I don't make the rules, I promise. However, Good 8 squad, again, they've been such a solid squad, right? They've just been like one of the highest point earners throughout the entirety of Street Fighter League Japan, back-to-back seasons. Literally the #1 seed, bypassing every single team. And these are no regular teams in Japan. You have the legends of Street Fighter participating in that league.
Agreed, and that's exactly the standard you're dealing with here. DCQ himself doesn't have that level of exposure and experience, but clearly doesn't show. I mean, he's been so incredibly good throughout the matchups. He knows he plays to perfection. I would love to hear the debate that took place before they decided to put Kawano, Luke up forward for this match, man. I would love to hear that stuff. Something to consider for future Street Fighter League World Championship finals. These team talks are so vital.
It's interesting to think about, right? Instead of Kawano, why wouldn't it have been Gachikun instead, right? Why not put Kawano against Oil King?
Maybe they just thought the Gachikun match was a guaranteed win. They were like, there's no way I'm losing to this guy's set. So take the guaranteed win so that no matter what happens in the anchor match, we're 20-0 up, hopefully.
I mean, like, considering the results from the previous set, right? Cien had actually gone up against Kawano with his set, and Kawano was able to take that down. So, I mean, like, if you're taking a look at that data, I would think to myself, well, Kawano could probably force the set pick in his favor, obviously in the wayside, and then also maybe face off against Rashid, because he already has Rashid practice.
You're not wrong, Vicious. I mean, this is what I'd love to hear them talk about it, right? You can only imagine the thought process. But this is what we have. It's Kawano with Luke going up against the man of the moment, DCQ, MVP so far of this grand finals, of this weekend, man. And he is going to try and take out Kawano to send this to a tiebreaker match, which gives them the opportunity to win the championships. Guys, we could be 2 games away from a championship here. Or 2 sets away, I guess you could say.
Find out momentarily again. Kawano versus DCQ. Been very respectful thus far. We're looking for the big opener. Oh, rising rocket past the knee drop. You already know.
And he did the light one too, so can't get baited. Absolutely ready. Confirms.
Oh, what
the
a
Nemo.
way to escape the throw.
Great defense so far from Kawano.
Low kick.
Yeah, looking to confirm that mirror.
Oh.
Too far for anything, maybe.
Maybe like the snapback, or like, sorry, standing medium punch would have been in range.
I mean, it seems to always be in range. Gonna see second mirror. No, back dashes out. Great control and patience here from Kawano, but that second mirror is stopped for DCQ.
Oh, big blast, a big lift punish. Hey, not too much damage though. Great for Kawano.
Maybe a little more there. Here comes the mirror. I wasn't ready for that. That's not legit setup.
Uh-oh. Time's running down too. 13 seconds on the clock, and it's going to be so difficult for DCQ. Rock Smasher, chip damage, 8 seconds on the clock. Metallic Sphere from DCQ, but still, we have so much damage coming in from the trigger. 3 seconds on the clock.
Oh, he gets hit. He gets hit at the last second, trying to approach. Kawano closing it out. Once he activated that V-trigger, he was in checkpoint position. Wow. Start here.
Back throw.
He tried to shimmy. I saw that. Urien throw range caught him out.
Oh,
nice
he thought he got a confirm.
That's that hitbox tech.
That's exactly what it was.
Where you going? Get over here. Oh, to the other side you go. Look at the stun racking up. Look for the count hit. Well blocked by Kawano. No activation on the stand medium. Missed this confirm. But he's managed to survive that momentum. No stun at least. Back in this round and a V-trigger activation at hand if he needs.
This is totally fine for DCQ.
Oh wow, it whiffed. Went for crouch jab first. Should have gone for stand jab first.
We didn't have fantastic.
Surprise dash.
Oh, that's huge. Are you dead? Oh my god, the conversion off of the counter hit too. Crouch medium punch. Plenty of time to recover. Get that link. And some massive damage and only having to spend 1 EX bar. It's quite the deal. No confirm into the snapback. Kawano not ready for it.
A bit rusty here, but he's still in one piece, and he's still ready for those things.
It's quite the reaction, isn't it? I love you, man.
Feeling is mutual. This feeling is very mutual. CA stopped, and he has the corner. Kawano looking to take some momentum in his favor here. One more bet could be it. Got to be careful there. Well, he's too scared to press anything, Vicious. He's got to hold this heat. The CA's gone, but it doesn't matter. Gonna activate. It's gonna DP. Oh, he doesn't. He gets hit.
The back throw. Throws the trigger. He's not gonna spin again. Oh my god!
Goodness.
The audacity.
That wasn't even a button. That wasn't even. He's just got hit walking forward, bro.
You know, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes when it comes to being a hitbox player. Sometimes you think you're in range to get a block, or at least in time for a block. Sometimes you miss.
Makes a huge difference having a reversal against a guy with an offensive mind as deep and as predictive as DCQ. Adds that extra layer, reduces the chances of reading right, like he did against Doggerel like 8 times in a row.
Right.
Always got to be watching out for that reversal, and Kawano well aware of that. You're not going to mix me up. Have some of this. Okay, DCQ goes to the character selection this time.
Here now. All things considered, we thought it was going to be the Colleen coming out to play, but it is going to be the Luke. Yet again, obviously, got the W. Kawano making pretty convincing statement for himself, knowing that he's or saying that he's ready for DCQ in his approach. So difficult thus far. I feel like we haven't really seen as much of that offense coming in from DCQ outside of the mirror.
No, Kawano, that's credit to Kawano. That's no slight on DCQ side. Kawano's done a great job of slowing him down, nullifying the pressure. When he's had the momentum going, he's been able to make that vital read when he's close to stun and reset things back to neutral. And of course, Luke gives him the opportunity to do that. You've got to be a bit more respectful of this character on Wake Up. Unlike Bison, where you can kind of just go to town with your reads. Okay. Did we see any changes? I don't think we did. I mean, why would you? V-skill? Did he change V-skill?
I'm always ready for a fight.
He's going to make the pick now. It looks like he's hovering over V-skill here.
Do you think there would be any significant difference between installing the metallic aura or even getting Thunder?
I'm always ready for a fight.
I don't think it makes a huge difference in the matchup. I think I'll probably go for I could be wrong, but no, I think it's all about the V-triggers in this match.
Right. I think that's the biggest point you can make in regards to these two characters. It's all about the V-trigger more so than the V-skill. Although I will say, V-skill 2 for Luke might be able to get you out of certain situations for mirror pressure, right? Instead of getting thrown into the mirror, possibly suppressor, counter.
For Luke, yeah. Big hard read.
Yeah. Okay, that could have been a big whip punish for Kawano.
Didn't get it.
I love that!
Kawano, man.
Armor on the Avenger.
Oh, he drops this confirmed. No punish, though. DCQ a little bit flustered here.
Nothing.
No
Oh,
confirmed.
that's
Gets it
fine.
again anyway, though.
Very fortunate for Kawano. DCQ. Like he's against the ropes. He pretty much is, actually. One more touch. That'll be it. Activation time. There was a counter hit there. He tried to press a button.
The reversal, he wasn't. Oh, he wasn't this time either. He lets it fly.
There's a steal. Hey, DCQ's been in this position before. Let's see if he has something different in store for Kawano. Now we're seeing, again, no whip punish on the stand medium.
Oh, for once missing, and he gets counter hit as well. Oh, didn't get his chance at fireball. Backdash in the corner. Kawano's reads on defense. Been so good.
Oh. Okay, the crawl kick.
Oh, too
That
far.
was a counter too far for the extension.
So good at that.
Oh my god, that's such a hefty price to pay to try to jump. Counter hit. No, couldn't close it.
Still alive here is Kawano. Great round from DCQ. Really needed this. Oh,
There it is.
interception. Check just in time. DCQ stopping Kawano from going 2-0 up here.
Do have full critical art on deck as well. Kawano looking for a big opener off the medium, but it's DCQ who's throwing a lot of this. Oh boy!
Another 2 bursts, yes it was.
And there's a lot of respect between both. Not willing to throw out a normal that gets whip punished. Medium kick. And it's DCQ again, still trying to find an opener against Kawano. Kawano was totally fine with this. Now he's checking the movement down below. Oh my god, they're not even pressing a button, just staring at each other. They're waiting, they're playing so passively.
That walk forward block is so good. He does that so well. Hitbox only thing. No confirm from Kawano. Oh, no confirm from DCQ. Both players feeling it right now, Vicious.
You're not allowed to miss that many big confirms against someone like DCQ. The more chances you give him to live.
Oh, that connects. To the corner you go. Goes for the short. The dash in throw surprises him.
Oh,
again, another one. DCQ fearing it. Just missed his throw there, Kawano. That resets the pressure. Now he goes back to zoning mode. Has the feature, got 2 more left. DCQ has the meter and the activation, but needs to somehow get there, blocks that one out. And again, great blocks.
16 seconds. Oh, that's a big
time plus. Oh, he's got very little time here. Just activate the mirror in the corner. 2 mirrors. Oh,
he managed to throw him instead? No way!
He's out of there.
What
It's going to be 2-0 to Kawano. These guys trade CAs as if to say,
out of frustration, that is for sure. Uh-oh. The look on DCQ's face, the frustration is setting in for Team UYU. Despite being at the lead prior to this side switch, it's been so different. A different Good 8 squad coming into play.
Kawano strategically and both offense and defense just seems a step ahead of the beat here versus DCQ. He really, I mean, it's almost like watching DCQ create all that mayhem, gave Kawano the data he needed to anticipate his desires and needs in certain situations. And he seems almost too comfortable under DCQ pressure. And he's been very good at avoiding DCQ pressure too. It's been rare. We've seen him in those pressurized situations.
I feel like it's been quite the polar opposite. The last time we saw Kawano play as Luke, he was pretty aggressive, actually. Seeing him at this pace, albeit I will say he had missed a couple of times over a couple of normals, a couple of confirms, but outside of that, he's still able to counter everything that UYU DCQ has been doing thus far. Even the whiff punches, not necessarily all the way there. there's been so many chances, I feel like, for DCQ to capitalize on some of the stuff that Kawano is putting on the table.
Fight.
Oh boy.
Just as punish. It's extremely unsafe. That ranges, but that didn't pay off. It's another great start from Kawano. This game to make things one apiece for Kawano here.
Oh. First off, the medium. How are you getting out of the corner? DCQ trying to find this slight way out. Kawano not giving it to him.
It's another great start to the round for Kawano. Confirms off that call. Punch. The knockdown.
Oh. So hard, right? Now we're seeing a lot more activity from the Sandblast. Inside of Kawano, median kick also, trigger is available for Kawano. Any solid hit can do so much damage, but he's gonna have to hold this pressure. Immaculate defense thus far. We still have one more mirror to go. DCQ, he's still trying to solve the puzzle that is Kawano before his eyes. Now, the knockdown off of the EX rocks, or should be Sandblast.
This is great slow strategy,
Oh!
and he gets to confirm this time. Let him off a minute ago. Oh, surprise, surprise.
Fine, letting go of the rest of the trigger, just one touch.
Plus, that crouch is short. Kawano hardly facing any adversity at all. He opens himself up 2 set points for Team Good 8 squad to make it one apiece here in this grand finals.
So interesting to see these turn of events, right? UYU had actually done something so similar the day before, getting a 3-0 victory. Kawano is looking to do the same right now. Off to a fantastic start. Look at the damage. Do about it, Femi. What are you supposed to do about it? Oh, punish!
Going. What a choice there for the V-Sim. First time we've seen it, and he's ready. Oh, he went for the meaty again, but Kawano's ready for it. Second mirror oncoming. There it is.
Uh-oh.
Jab. He's willing to trade. Safe sweep. Oh, he takes that.
You're
Oh, that should be
dead.
it.
No!
Oh, he missed it.
What?
He missed it. Massive drop from Kawano.
No,
Can
I can't.
DCQ make this count?
I think he can, but he has to get past the V-trigger.
Only the 1 bar.
3 bars of EX, full critical art as well.
Oh,
There
big
it is.
whip. That's going to be that.
Dun, 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 dun.
What a piece! Good 8 squad tie this up, and this grand finals will see a third and final set vicious. They pull it out of the fire. What happens next?
Well, first and foremost, they got to switch sides, right? Being able to hang in there one-on-one, they have to go back to the away side. It's going to give plenty of time for both teams to converse amongst themselves and figure out what the order is going to be. You can see the look of concern on Gachikun's face, what he needs to do as a captain to figure out this order to ensure their victory. But again, it's just so difficult. Statistically, we've seen the home field advantage really play for some of these teams in a positive manner. And I got to say, if there's any time to break that streak of the home team getting these W's, it has to be now.
Has to be now, and you wonder what Japan are going to do with it in terms of their team order from the away side. On that evidence, maybe put Kawano anchor with Luke. I mean, from what we just saw, the go-to for Luke on Team UYU is DCQ.
Sure.
And he just lost 3-0 pretty convincingly to an extremely impressive Kawano Luke. Now, the answer to that is maybe the mirror with NL. I'm not sure, but Japan right now, I think they'd be wise to maintain this momentum and reliability from Kawano on the away side and just sit him there in that anchor spot. And look, this is for everything. For $80,000, who are you going to bring that's going to beat my Luke right now? Because I'm on fire.
It's so difficult to even try to comprehend, like, who do you actually bring out? This is your Luke Slayer for the most part with DCQ, but again, you got to think about the amount of practice Kawano has had with Shuto, the amount of practice he's had with Tokido, right? Despite all of the minor errors that Kawano has made in the entire set, he still managed to get the better of DCQ. That is a huge statement, especially at this stage of the game.
It was not very one-sided, but it was pretty one-sided. I mean, that being another example. Great whiff punish. I mean, just extremely efficient and too comfortable. He was not made to look as uncomfortable as DCQ tends to make his opponents look.